What is good, everybody? Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you guys have had a good week. We're going to test something new out today. So I'm actually streaming both on the vertical format and the horizontal, plus I'm using virtual background. So hopefully this will work out. You guys will have to give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. If I'm echoing a lot, I'll do AirPods. But otherwise, maybe this will work out okay. So you guys let me know. How do I sound? In the chat. We're going to do a little bit of testing here. Some of you may be in the vertical stream. Some of you may be in the horizontal stream. I don't know how it showed this to you guys, but I'm going to attempt this today. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to try to stay in frame as much as I can for those on the vertical. And we're going to give it a try. Let's see what happens. So just so you guys know, YouTube is pushing really hard to do the vertical. They're showing your videos to way more people if you go vertical. However, a lot of people have complained that are probably watching this on TV or on other devices. They like the horizontal format. Obviously, you get all this stuff to the side of me, and it's easier to see things when I zoom in, as well as being able to show you guys some charts. But it should work on this. So we're going to give it a try. We'll see what happens. All right. Before we end the night tonight, we're going to go an hour on this live stream, and then I'm going to be doing an hour for members. So if you guys want to do any kind of donations to the channel today, one of the things I might recommend is giving out channel memberships versus just doing a, I don't know, I can't even think of the word right now. You guys can do channel memberships. And then that gives more people that can get in there. But we're going to be doing that where you guys can just ask me any questions that you have. And depending on the size of group, I will probably end up giving you guys the links in that next in the second hour. So you can come up, we can hear, we can be, we can talk back and forth, kind of like a Zoom call. We're going to give that a try. But I got a huge box here today that I'm going to share with you guys in a little bit. And you can't really see it too well because of the virtual screen here, but it's awesome. I got something from Sigma Metalytics. I'm going to open that up. I'm going to show you guys what that is. We're going to talk about it a little bit. And if we can get it set up, and I can get the camera to face the other way with the second camera and not have the sound get all jacked up, we're going to have some fun testing, okay? So I brought in some bars. Here's one bar that I'm thinking about testing, okay? That one's a heavy bar. Here's a coin I'm thinking about testing. We'll go like that. Here's another bar that we're going to look to test. Another bar. Okay, there's kind of a theme that's going on here. See if any of you guys can guess that. Here's another bar. Here's another coin. Technically, I don't think this is actually a coin, though. Well, it's at least a replica of a quarter. How's that? And then I've got another one. See if you guys can guess the theme yet. And then this will be the last one. All right. And we may even have a special guest on towards the end if he's in here. So we're going to look at all those silver coins, bars. We're going to talk about them. We're going to see if we can test them as well. So anyway, a lot to cover on today, guys. Am I giving this away? No. That's my retirement plan, guys. We will be doing a silver GAW if within an hour we can get to 100, okay? And we'll be doing, if we get to 100 likes by the end of the stream, let me show you what we're going to do. Okay. We'll do this two ways. If we get to 100 likes by the end of the stream, and it's going to go to the top of the hour, guys, I'll give away another 1 ounce Beskar bar. And we're going to talk about this idea here in a minute. If we get to 50, but we don't get to 100, then I'll do a quarter, silver 90% quarter right here. All right, we'll do a quarter like one of these guys. All right, so I'll leave those out. So go tell your friends to jump on the stream if you guys want to do some GAWs. If we don't get 50, then I get to keep the silver. How's that? If we get to 50, then we'll do the quarter if we get to 100, we're just going to do the 1 ounce, and we'll keep the quarter for another time. But let's talk about this real quick. There's a couple things I want to hit. We are going to talk about the price of silver and gold. Where are they heading? We'll talk a lot more about silver today. If you've got questions, please put them in bold for me. That helps me see what you guys want to ask. And then we'll get to those. We'll do a lot of just going through the chat to see what you guys have to say. Anyway, we're going to do that. So first off, if you happen to be in the vertical format, double tap the screen. That's how you do a like. If you're in the wide format, the regular YouTube format, you just hit the little icon for the thumbs up. And that's how we get to the 50 and the 100, guys. All right, so let me start off with a few things. I want to address a couple things that came up on video comments this week. And on some of them, I kind of let people have it a little bit. So if you're in here, I don't apologize for the comments I made, but I probably could have made them a little bit more sensitively. But I do want to hit two things. One is someone had mentioned that I had mentioned in the last stream that because I have a degree, I make more money than other people. I don't know. I don't remember saying that. But what I'm going to tell you guys is I know a lot of people that don't have degrees. They make like 4 times as much money as I do. They make a crazy amount of money. A lot of people thought degrees make tens of millions of dollars a year. So I don't know what came out on that, but that's definitely not a belief that I have. But what I will tell you guys is my degrees that I have saved my neck when my small businesses got totally crushed in 2008. And some of the startups I was working on didn't quite go the way I wanted to. It gave me the ability to go get a job. Going forward, and I'll tell you guys this kind of around AI, and what I tell my kids about this is college is something that can be very valuable for education and learning. It doesn't really teach you wisdom. Wisdom comes from learning and taking the knowledge that you get from that and then applying it. And depending on how well you apply it, you earn or learn different or gain different types of knowledge from it, okay? And then you get different kinds of wisdom based on your experience and doing all that stuff. So what I'm telling my kids now is I brought one of my daughters home. It's saving us a lot of money, tens of thousands of dollars a year now by not being at a big university. And here in California, one perk we do get, I know a lot of you guys are telling me to move all the time, but one perk we get here is it's about $2,000 a year for community college. And if you do 2 years of community college, you're automatically into a UC school, University of California school. And then you can finish a bachelor's. If you want to go on for more, you can do that. I don't recommend going into major debt right now to get degrees to try to earn more money. I just don't think that's going to be something that is going to benefit you guys going forward right now because of what is coming with AI. I think the vocations are going to be much more valuable. I think you've got a much better opportunity to make a lot of money becoming a plumber, an electrician, something that you do with your hands, something that is harder for a robot to deal with. And if you get good at it, after doing that for 5 or 10 years, you can take off on your own and start your own business. And if you don't know how to run a business, then you'll need to hire someone to help you run the business. A good book to read is The E-Myth. Okay, guys. So you can't run a business and also be the best person working in the business. You've got to work on the business or in the business, one of the two. So anyway, that's one thing I wanted to just address because by no means do I think everybody needs to go get an education or how all that works. I will tell you here in California, you got to make stupid, crazy money and pay stupid, crazy taxes in order to live here because it's just super expensive. The other thing that came up on comments this week that I just want to address too is I've had a couple of mining videos come out recently, and I know some of you guys hate those, but I want to let you know that we don't make very much money. Oftentimes it's like $100 from ads on YouTube. It's not a lot of money that comes into the channel. Buying the computer that I'm on here that I use for editing, buying a phone that I use for cameras, buying stands like this and the gimbals that make it so that you guys don't get sick when I'm walking on the beach and it steadies it. Like the Sigma Metalytics machine, all the parking, the miles driven, the gasoline, all that kind of stuff adds up. And one of the things we as content creators have to do from time to time is have a little bit of revenue coming in just to keep the channels going. And then you've got several channels where this is the main thing they do, or maybe their main source of income. So, when we're creating these videos around mining videos, one of the things I recommend is, watching the video. It's, usually a 2-minute ad in the middle of the video. Sometimes it's a little longer. It's a sponsorship. It keeps us going, keeps the channels going. Without them, we'd basically have to probably shut things down, or you wouldn't see very much content. We wouldn't be able to spend as much time. As it is, I work about 50 hours a week for my normal job. Sometimes it's a lot longer because I might be traveling, Monday through Friday, and they basically have got me all hours except for maybe 6 hours of sleep. And then I put in about another 30 hours. A lot of you guys are having fun watching basketball and football. I'm doing this. I'm researching. I'm, building videos, shooting videos, helping people answer questions, going through comments and all that stuff. So I really have no life. I don't ever watch sports very much because I don't have the time to do it. I'm doing this stuff constantly. So when you see those videos come out, usually there'll be a thing at the top, unless we forget to do it, that says it's paid video. But it's a way to support the channel. And I know it can be annoying if you see the same thing 10 times from different channels, but there's a reason for that. That's how these companies do it. And it's how us as content creators can keep things going. So enough on that. I would just recommend supporting us as much as you guys can on that. You can always fast forward through the thing if you don't like it. But we try to give you guys as much content as we can. And, this is free to you guys. It takes a lot of time to do this. All right. So next, if you guys have not already done so, double tap the screen or hit the thumbs up. That'll get it to there. If we get to 50, we'll do a quarter giveaway today. Look at that. It's like an invisible quarter. If we get up to 100, we'll do a best guard bar. Okay. So this is the reason I wanted to bring this up is I don't have the ability to give out 1 ounce coins like this, that run about 60, 70 bucks. If we don't have the sponsorships going on, guys. I still haven't made a penny from this. Everything goes back out into the channel that I've produced. I'm hoping to change that a little bit. It'd be good to augment all the time I spend in this. All right, guys, so let's get on to silver pricing. So silver was up and then it was down a little bit. One of the things I want to let you guys know is we are going to continue to see silver and gold go up and down and all over the place, okay? And a lot of that is going to be because of the markets and what's going on. Right now, there's a lot of worry that the Fed recently came out. Jerome Powell, he said a few things around that made everybody believe that there's not going to be any more rate cuts this year. So we probably won't have one in December. Now, the Fed often does this to test the market and see what happens. So the Fed may believe that the stock market's getting a little too heated. And I think we just hit another all-time high in the S&P 500. And so therefore, what can happen is they'll come in and they'll basically say, things that are kind of hawkish is the term, that make it sound like, yeah, we don't know that we can't, the economy still seems too heated. We're not sure we can cut rates. Or they may not even say anything about rates. They may just say that the economy seems to still be very heated and they could have other concerns there. When that happens, it has the same effect of, raising rates or keeping them the same. You can see what the market does. So if we see a big market pullback here, and I don't mean a crash, I just mean a pullback that's significant, the Fed may still end up cutting rates in December, and then you'd see things go up. But right now, the market is starting to price in that there's not going to be a rate cut. And if there's not a rate cut in December, will there be one in January? Okay, that's going to be the big questions. Those things are going to make a huge difference in what happens to gold and silver in the short term, but it's not going to do anything in the long run. So, one of the reasons I picked this background is I just think these are great pictures of, two of my favorite coins, right? The Maple Leaf, it's this way, Maple Leaf this way, Silver Eagle this way. And, these are great coins to own and hold. I stack silver for a couple of reasons. One, I think it is SHTF insurance. So that's like these quarters, right? They're kind of worn. It's 90%. They're recognizable. You can see the date on them. And they're going to be easy to trade with people when we get to that phase of trading in SHTF. And maybe we'll do a live stream on that to help you guys. It won't be at the beginning. It'll be after people have started being able to pull resources together. And, there's some, the SHTF is kind of the freak out part of it's over. And you're starting to get to the point where people understand what the new rules are. And if one of those rules is barter, then that's where your silver is going to come into play. I like it also from the standpoint of just really cool collectible stuff, right? So this is kind of a cool Star Wars coin that's collectible. And, it's fun for stuff like that. It's also a great way to store your money. If you look at the performance of silver versus just having your money in a CD, this year's returns alone have blown away a CD you could have had for the last 5 years, maybe even the last 10 years. And so it's a great way to store your money, is store your wealth. And then third, speculation. I think silver is the most undervalued asset out there. And I think we're going to see it go to the moon. Okay. When I mean to the moon, I don't mean $100. I mean way more than that. So, I think we have the potential in this cycle to see $300, possibly even $600, and maybe $1,000 silver by 2030. There's some things that have to happen for it to get bigger and higher on there, but I do think it's very possible. And I wouldn't buy them for that reason. And this is not financial advice. I'm not going to give you any of that on the channel here or on this video. I can't tell you to buy it, and I can't tell you where the price is going to be. I don't have a crystal ball. But what I can tell you is that it's so undervalued that we're in a very weird period of time here. And I'll see if I can pull some of these charts up here in a second, where silver is above 80 on the gold to silver ratio. That doesn't happen very often. And so because that doesn't happen very often, when it does, it's a good time to be picking up silver. It usually goes down to the mean, which means that it's going to get down closer to, say, what it comes out of the ground in. And that's going to be closer to like 12 to 1, 10 to 1, somewhere in there. That alone is going to make the silver price pop when that happens. In addition to that, gold is it's in its second inning, maybe the very beginning of the third inning of it running in this bull run, and it's going to drag silver with it. Now, we could have some economic issues that come up, guys, where silver could take a big dip and gold kind of holds in there. So I wouldn't rule out 100 GSR. That could possibly happen. Silver usually does not pump really hard until after gold's kind of had its run. So you're probably looking 2 or 3 years from now when silver's really going to start to jump up. So keep all those things in mind. So if you guys, as we get into the video here, we'll talk a little bit more about how do we get to 100 and when does that happen. Okay, so we'll kind of keep that going. Let me get to the chat real quick and say hi to you guys. So we got Jake's Custom Parts in here. Welcome and thank you for coming. We've got Rob. He's claiming to be the first, so we're not sure, but he might be the first in here. And then we've got Rick. Uh-oh, that's not Rick. This one's Rick. Hey, Rick, how's it going? And let's see who else we got here. Canadian man or mom. Sorry, Canadian mom, not man. Sorry about that. Steve Woods in here. I think he could sniff out some free silver. I know he likes free silver too. Star Stacker. He can hear me great, so that's good. So I don't know how you stack stars, but I think that would be pretty cool. We've got Joe on the vertical side, so welcome, Joe. If you guys have not subscribed yet, I'll throw this out here for you guys so you can see that. Just as a reminder, please do subscribe. That way you are notified of all of these great videos that come out, the guests that are coming out, and other things like that. I am going to have a person from Sigma Metalytics on in a few weeks. We'll have Andy Schectman back on Tuesday. And we'll probably get a few other guests, in December as well. So I'm working on a few of those for you guys as well too. All right, we've got, let's see here. Who else we got in the chat here that we haven't called out yet? We've got Gen X Silver Stacker. So yes, Gen X is pretty close to my heart since I'm in that group, kind of at the tail end of it, but still in the group there. We've got Kevin Hawthorne. Welcome. So you guys, if you haven't checked out Kevin Hawthorne's page, go check it out. He sent me some really cool videos. He's been in the news out there in Florida. This guy is a saint. He helps a lot of people out at a bus station and has done some great work. So Kevin, I'm going to get a silver, your first piece of silver out to you, okay? So that's going to happen this week, along with a couple of the other GAWs that we've done that are coming soon, guys. So these are coming out. It takes me a little bit of time to get these shipped out. All right, let's see. We've got Sorcerer Stan in the house as well. Amy's in the house. Welcome, Amy. Rob believes that silver, $100 silver is around the corner. I think so too. I don't think it's that far away, guys. But I don't want it to come too fast. I want to buy more silver still. My arm does occasionally disappear, so that does happen. This screen behind me is not real, so you can see there's like a wall behind me. Anyway, I thought this would be more interesting than staring at like an off-white wall. But my arm is still real. It has not gone away. Yeah, that is a 100-ounce bar. So we're going to go from, if we can get the tester working right here in a minute, we're going to go from 100-ounce all the way down to 1 ounce and see if we can get it going. If it doesn't work today to get it all set up, because I don't exactly know what I'm doing with the new machine, I'll at least show you guys what it is, what I have, and we'll get this set up another day. Of the stuff that's up here, I don't know why, but this is my favorite one. And we'll talk about that a little bit today. This is a 20-ounce Kit Kat bar from, what do you call it? Scottsdale Mint. It's just the way they kind of finish it. Like, it's really cool to hold in your hand. It's kind of like a defensive weapon. I don't know. But it's kind of a cool piece that we have there. And then this was one I picked up recently, and I got this at spot price. So if you can get a Kookaburra spot price, I think that's always good. And that 100-ounce bar I picked up at below spot a while back, back in May. And I don't want 100-ounce bars, but you know, if I see a good deal, I'm going to stick with it. So I have been looking at those. There's these new 5-ounce Canadian Maple Leafs that you can buy that I know SD Bullion's got those up. You can get a monster box of them as well. And they look pretty cool. I don't love the coins with the king or queen on them. I like the coins that don't have people's faces on them as much. But you know, if you get stuff that's from one of the British Commonwealth countries, you're going to get it. All right, Rob hasn't won yet, so Rob, you got to try to win today then. All right, who else we got in here? Oh, there's a bunch of you in here. M&H, good evening. He's got a hand there. We got OC Stacker in the house. Happy Friday. And we've also got LL in the house. She's a great mod. And we got Richie crashed on the horizontal format, so that's good too, guys. And as far as the mods go, I don't know if you guys, I don't know if it's a separate live feed in the two. It might be separate because it may be coming out as separate videos. So one of my mods, if you guys could go and check that as you're going through this, we're testing this out. So we may need to have one mod on the vertical format, one on the horizontal format. I am going to, as we get to when we do the giveaway, we are going to be doing that off of what everybody puts in here, and I think it'll work. Let's see. Well, we'll deal with that as we get a little closer to it. Yeah, it looks like I'm gonna have to put one link in. So we'll have all of you guys jump to one of the other videos at the end here when we go to do the giveaway, just to double check. All right. All right. Who else have we got in here? We've got Trong the Clown. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but hello. I know you've been on here a few times, so welcome back. I'm not great with names, by the way. I try not to mess people's names up too much. But Surfer, you don't look old enough to have a kid in college. Oh man, I'm going to be 50 next year, so I hope I could have a kid still. So my babies are 19, twins that are 19, and my son's 22. I've been happily married for 27 years, and well, I don't have a lot of gray hairs, which is quite surprising. My grandma died at 95 and her hair was still black. So I used to have blonde hair. This is what happens to blonde hair when you get older. All right, let's see here. The camera doesn't seem like it's coming in at 1080p, but whatever. We've got Eric Horn. Hello, welcome. Mitch Rayner, hello. Make sure I didn't skip anybody there. So here you go. Rob's a carpenter. After 3 years, he broke out on his own, started working for himself. I think it's the best way to go. I spent the first half of my career doing real estate developing. So I found pieces of land. I took created plans to do self-storage facilities, and then I would take that to the city, get it approved, and go all the way to building permits. And we were about to build one of those projects, and 2008 came, and it really jacked everything up. But it was quite a fun process. I owned several homes and fixed those up, rented them out, and then eventually sold those. I actually sold those 2 weeks before the whole market crashed in Arizona. So Eric, welcome. All right, so we've got a super chat from Jake's Custom Parts, so thank you. Those things always help to kind of spread the love a little bit with the giveaways, guys, as well as everything else that's going on. Yeah, we're going to keep giving away silver. I mean, that's like part of what I want to be able to do with this is help you guys get started with your stacks. Okay. So, one of the things I'm working on right now with Andy Schectman is we're going to do some starter packages. So I want to do like a package that's around, say, like a prepper stacker package. We'll probably do one that's more for weight stack, and then we'll probably do one that's sovereign stack and keep it to those three. And we'll probably have, anywhere from 1 to 3 different versions of sizes, to really get the discounts going. Where I don't know what the minimum is going to be. It might end up being like $2,000, $5,000, and $10,000. I don't know exactly what it's going to come out to be yet. But I'd love to hear from you guys on, what you're looking to do. But what I'm hoping to do is get you more metals for less price and get you guys started with Miles Franklin. It's a great company. We'll put the quick shout out here for that too, guys. So you can email them, info@milesfranklin.com. Let them know Stacking Surfer sent you. And one of the reasons to do that, guys, to really kind of help you out here is this. You need to have multiple places you buy from, and you need to have multiple places you sell to, okay? You've always got to start with an exit strategy. You don't buy something like this for a premium and not have an exit strategy. So when I bought these, I figured I was going to do a lot of auctions on YouTube. And so I bought an entire, tube of 25 of them. And, I think I paid, I'd have to go back and look at it, but like maybe $32 a coin. And these are coins. They've got the denomination on there. And now, they ran up to about 55, 60 bucks. And I think now they're probably going for a little bit more than that, but not a whole lot. Whereas if you bought a silver round for, around, say, $28 at that time, that thing's almost doubled in price. So you got to be careful with that. But that's why I bought these. And then I did a couple auctions and they were horrible. You can't make any money from it really, unless you try to trick people into stuff, right? It just doesn't work. It's not my thing yet. Now, I may end up doing something on some platforms down the road, but as of right now, it's not worth my time to do it unless we can move enough volume to where we get you guys good prices. That's my whole thing. I don't want to try to make money off of you. I want to help you acquire metals at a better price. So far, I haven't found anybody that beats Andy Schectman, and if you do, send them a note, and they will match it if they have that product, or they'll get something close to it. But anyway, I would definitely reach out there. Time Lapse is in the house, so welcome, Time Lapse. All right, who else we got in here? Tiger Stacker's in the house. Welcome, Tiger. It is Tiger's birthday today, guys. Everybody put happy birthday, Tiger, in the chat. All right, we've got, let's see. Okay, Richard, I get it. Surfer, you're not missing anything with the pro sports. It turned into a bunch of millionaires tried to look significant without getting hurt and losing their meal ticket. Yeah. I do like watching games. I do like having fun doing that. I just don't have the time to do it is the thing. It was fun watching the World Series with the Dodgers as a Dodgers fan. I mean, heck, they have to win it with their roster. So, and especially how much they're paying for it. But yes, honestly, I think a lot of sports really come down to this whole concept of, what Rome would do at the Coliseum. It's a way to keep people distracted and to keep them thinking about a team and comparing themselves to other teams and stuff like that versus working on your finances, making extra money, spending time with your family. Now, the caveat of that is if you're using those games to build relationships with your friends and family, I still think that's very valuable too. But maybe not every night. Maybe every once in a while. I don't think that SHTF will happen. So, Rob, you have to tell me which one you're talking about. I can think of about 100 of them that could happen. So hopefully none of them do. But they could. And if they do, then, it's good to be prepared. And we'll talk about how to prepare for some of those. Alan Satoshi Greenspan's in the house, guys. And I like his tag here. So he's gather gold, stack silver, be your own bank. And I think it's good. And we're going to probably do a show with Nick's Coins coming up soon about how to be your own bank, because she told me it's not possible. I do believe it is possible to be your own bank. So we're going to talk to Nick about that. Thank you for the super chat, Tiger. Give Silver super chats. He needs more silver. I don't need more silver. I'm good on silver. You guys need more silver. We're going to help you guys get more silver. So Rob said moon equals 15,1555. For me, the moon equals 10,000. Okay, $10,000 silver. And if you guys think $10,000 silver is not possible, then you're not looking at the same problems down the road that I am. Now, at $10,000 silver, I can definitely tell you it's going to be super expensive to buy things. Okay, there's going to be a lot of inflation, a revaluation. And you're probably looking at a new currency that's been out there, probably still called the dollar. But it could go a lot higher, guys. But I wouldn't count on it doing that. Rick, I'll check my email afterwards. I hope so. I might finally make a profit selling my Silver Mercury dime tube. Guys, I'm not going to tell you never to take profits. If you buy stuff to resell it at some point in the future, I think you should make some profits on it. I have sold these and I will sell these if we do another auction like on Star Wars Day or something like that in May, for $55, and I paid less money for them. You can make a little bit of money from it, but you also got to keep in mind what the cost of replacement for that silver is. And so if you're selling it for 55 and you're buying back at 55, then you got to move the price up, or you just hold on to things. So that's something you got to kind of consider too. Double tap the screen, hit the thumbs up if you guys haven't done already. And Maj, you'll have to let me know here in a second what we're looking at. It is a good time to trade gold for silver if you can find someone that'll do it without taking a massive cut on it. So if you go to your local coin shop, they're usually going to do the following. They're going to buy the silver back from you at below spot price. That's going to be anywhere from say 1 to 5% below spot. And then that's for your gold. And then they're going to turn around and sell you silver above spot. So they'll probably sell you silver at the retail price they normally sell it. If you do that, and we're sitting at an 82 ratio right now, you're probably going to be trading at about a 68 ratio. Okay. So do the math, make sure you understand what's going on. A lot of places, and I believe Miles Franklin is one of the places like this too. A lot of them will take money on one side of the trade, meaning they'll give you the full retail value or at least the spot price for what you're trading in. And then they may even give you a little bit of a discount, or they'll give you, their best price on the other product you're going into. So it's always good to have ideas of what those prices are going into a situation like that. But yes, you can trade for it. And any time above 80, I think is a good time to trade from gold to silver. And any time below 20 is a good time to trade from silver to gold. But you gotta remember that there's got to be a spread in there unless you're just trading with a friend. And if you're trading with a friend, you're probably going to have a hard time finding someone that's going to trade you their silver for gold. ABC, 6 months of market chaos before gold revaluation in 2026, 2027. It's very possible. I don't know exactly when the revaluation will come, but I do believe one will probably come. Right now, it looks like they're allowing the gold and silver price, well, at least the gold price, to keep rising, so that when they go to do a revaluation, it's not so much of a sticker shock. But right now, if they revalue at about 4,000, that adds $1 trillion. If they revalue at 8,000, it's going to add 2 trillion. 16,000, it'll add 4 trillion, and so forth. And that's if we have the 8,200 tons. If we have more, it could be a lot more than that. If we have less, then it'd be a problem. Silver may be in a consolidation mode, Rick. I'm not exactly sure. I haven't looked at the charts too closely yet, but it could be doing that a little bit. We definitely kind of have a double top, almost. Didn't quite hit 54. But that double top could be forming. I'll have to look at a reverse head and shoulders, which would be bullish. It could be a head and shoulders, which could be bearish. But as of right now, I'm not seeing anything that's indicating for me to get out of silver. But I am waiting a little bit to see when to buy a little bit more. I have a really hard time buying silver over the price of $50. So I am hoping we'll have a little bit more in there. And now I've bought recently, though, on that way up from about 35 until 45. I bought silver, and then I bought just a little bit around 50. But I think right now price is less the problem, and I think getting your hands on it is much more the problem. I do things with Chef Stacker, LA, as well as OC Stacker, with finding silver and trying to do some good deals for people, and helping them get out of metals that they want to get out of. So if you guys are curious about any of that or wanting to sell, you can always send me an email as well. You can also email out to Miles Franklin. But when we do that, we try to give pretty good pricing. I think Miles Franklin sometimes may give you a little bit better pricing for selling. But you got to ship it. So it also depends on if you're local California or not. But we do have good prices. We try to, help the community out with that. And then oftentimes we'll reach back out to the community to sell it to you guys for a good price. We're not trying to make these big, huge margins off of it. We just take a little bit to cover the time, the shipping, gas, things like that, to kind of make everything work. The time it takes to test everything, make sure it's good. And then just a little bit for the time on it. But the reality is we're having a hard time finding silver. There's not a lot of people selling it, and the ones that are trying to sell it want top dollar for it. They want retail price, even though they're not a retailer. And I can tell you that I'm never going to pay retail to someone that is not a retailer, because that's not how these markets work. In addition to that, I can't help someone else get into a better price if I pay top dollar for it. We've got Steve in the house. Welcome. Silver bells, it's Christmas time in the city. Yes, but I like to do Thanksgiving first. A lot of people skip right past it. All right, Rob, if gold is 4,000, then silver should be 500, and the GSR and the mining ratio is 8-1. Yeah, exactly. So, silver is way undervalued. Michael K, welcome. Ohio Brian, welcome. Okay, so why do places like Money Metals Exchange or charge Money Metals Exchange charge $60 for a silver eagle that's worth $1, but spot is 50? So they got to make their spread somewhere. Okay, guys. So you got to remember, if you've been in the game long enough, things will change at some point. Okay. When I first got into stacking, when you went to sell back an eagle, for example, they would give you like $2 over spot, maybe $3 over spot. But you were buying them for, like $10 to $15 over spot. So it's all relative. There has to be a spread in there for them to operate. If they sell it to, if they give you $50 because let's say the spot price is at 50 right now, and they only go and charge like $6 on top of that, there's not enough money in there for them to feed their families and to keep their shops open and everything else. So that spread is all based on that. It also depends on how easy it is for them to turn it over, right? They have all this cash that's in metal sitting there. They've got to keep turning it over all the time to make their money. So there's a lot of different things. So right now what I'm seeing is I'm still seeing people buying eagles below spot. So, that's happening. And then when you go to buy them, when they go to sell them to you, they're going above spot. Now, I usually wait to buy eagles if there's that much of a spread. I'm okay buying eagles up to like $3 or $4 over spot price in this kind of a market. Otherwise, I wait, and then I go get things like this stuff, and I look for something like this that's at spot price. I don't want that. I don't even want the 100-ounce bar. But that's what I found, and I found a good price on it. I can always convert it into a different product down the road. So it's kind of my thing. Captain Stacks, welcome. Rob, okay, we got it. He's the first in the room. He's challenging Craig there. Craig may have put the first comment in, but I think you were the first one in the room. All right, guys. All right, Tiger, we got another super chat in here. Look at all those big coins. Surfer emptied SD bullion, save none of it for us. Wouldn't it be awesome to be able to get a coin that was that size? I mean, that would be like what? I don't know, a couple thousand ounces or something like that. Yeah, we're definitely in some kind of a depression thing going on right now. I just think there's still a lot of credit out there, which is different than before. Who doesn't like free silver? I think everybody does. Eli, welcome. And then we've got Space Cowboy feeling odd during a live stream. Oh, what? Thrilling ads during live stream. I think there's usually some ads on these live streams, guys. And if there are, it makes it so I can give you guys this stuff more out. This helps take care of a little bit of it. So there's two lives at the same time. There's one in the horizontal and one in the vertical. So if you're in the horizontal one, double tap the screen. If you're in vertical, you just hit the thumbs up. We'll have everybody come over to the horizontal one when we do the giveaway. So that's why you're going to see, a couple different things. Cactus Stacker, welcome. Tiger is the Sigma guy, by the way. So I may try to bring him in here in just a minute if I can get through all these real fast. We're at 42 now. So keep going. If we get to 100, we'll do the Beskar bar. If we just get to 50, we'll do the silver quarter. So Rob was in Costco tonight and had a 1 ounce gold bar for $4,189.99. That's not too shabby, actually. And if you can get the 4% back with the credit card and the executive membership, you're going to be under spot price on that one, which would be good. Also, just keep in mind when you are calculating that, you also have to look at the inflation rate that's going to go into your money if you really want to be exact. And right now is a great time to be doing Costco from the standpoint that you're going to get your rebate back in February versus if you are in March, you got to wait a whole year to get your cash back and it's going to lose some value over time. All right, let's see. We've got Silver Lunatic in here. Peter Shift. Yeah, he's got a lot of comments going on X these days. Michael K, welcome. And then let's see, we've got Silver Chief, welcome. And hello, Captain Stacks. I might have called him out already, but Captain Stacks have the Sigma Investor Pro. Love it. Oh, we're going to open that in just a second here. All right, I might have to scroll past a bunch of these guys so we can get to that. Yeah, exactly. So you guys look at that. It was around that for a very long time. We're in an unusual time right now. So I'm a gold bug. I'm not really a silver bug, but I'm becoming a silver bug because of the more research I do, the more I realize, okay, stuff like this 100 ounce bar here is going to be something that most people are not going to be able to afford in the near future at all. Okay. When I was first stacking, you could pick these up for $1,800, and now they're going for about $5,700 for one of these guys. Well, what happens when silver is sitting at $100, $500, $1,000, right? Those are going to be super expensive. So, get ready for that. Let me take that off. Okay, I want to make sure that was off. All right. Dan Little, welcome. I've never sold any of our silver and we don't have plans to do so, but can you explain what happens when you do sell as far as taxes? How does anyone know what you paid for it years ago? All right, well, here's the deal. If you go to sell silver and you are reporting that on your tax return, which is what you should be doing because it is an asset in the United States, they don't consider it money anymore. They consider it a collectible. And it has a 28% capital gains tax rate. And what I'll tell you here is always check this with your CPA. I'm not a tax advisor. I cannot give you financial advice on whether to sell or buy. And I can't give you tax advice, but I can tell you what I've experienced. So it's about a 28% capital gains tax. So if you're going to sell it, you should be paying the taxes on that. That's the law right now. When you go to do that, if you have a basis, then you do not have to pay taxes on the entire dollar value of the bar. If you don't remember what your basis is, then you may need to work with your CPA and go back to the day or around the time that you bought it and try to grab that. Maybe you've got an old receipt. You'll have to talk to them and see what you can do. So I recommend holding on to all of your receipts when you make purchases. I know some big stacking channels do not, because I've talked to them about it. They don't really keep track of anything. They don't have a spreadsheet to track it. They don't plan on ever selling. But here's the thing. Planning on never selling is not a plan. It's just hope. So what happens if you do need to sell it and you need to get out of it, right? It's helpful to be able to know what you paid for these things, so you can change that out. But that's basically what I would do. 100-ounce GAW, you're in. Anita wants that. You know what? My goal, okay, here's a goal for my channel, is to get large enough in this channel, right, that we can do that kind of a GAW. I don't know. That might be like hitting 300,000 or 400,000 subscribers. We do a 100-ounce silver bar GAW. I don't know. Let's work on getting there first, and then we'll figure out what we'll do. What I do have up is I have said we're going to do a 10th-ounce gold Toro giveaway on January 1st. If by the end of the year here, California time, we can get the channel to 17,000 subscribers. If not, I'm keeping it. And we'll probably do some other fun, some other fun GAWs on that first week of January. But if we get to 17,000, I'll give out a 10th ounce of gold. I'd rather do that than pay a bunch of money in advertising for you guys. We've got Hans in here. Welcome. Ryan Williams. I think that's awesome. 4 years is a good start. And guys, I think this is the time where we just need to go and accumulate as much as we can. No, this is a real live. It's not pre-recorded. We're live. We're live right now. We're going through all the chats. It just takes me time to get down here. So another super sticker from Eli. Welcome. Thank you. That does help every little bit, guys. Yeah, Money Metals is good. I bought from them too. I don't have any problem with Money Metals. SD Bullion, AppMax has been good too. They may be a little bit more expensive on regular bullion, but they've got some great coins you can't get anywhere else. All right, I'm going to fast forward just a little bit. Let's see, what does this say here? Iki Stacking and Silver Dragons have a new win selector, which seems to work great. Yeah, I'll have to check with them and see. Most of it, you have to have a programmer set everything up and be on a whole nother system. It can be a little tricky. Dude, I've been happily married 27 years. So my wife, I met her in high school when we were 16. And we had a lot of fun on our first date, and it was kind of history after that. We don't even know what it's like not to be married at this point. Hey, thanks, Time Lapse. Welcome, and for coming on here too, and thank you very much. Usually what we do, guys, is I'll just tell you, when we're doing gold and silver stuff, we buy below spot. We don't buy at spot. We've got to buy below spot so we can offer better deals to people to be able to move it quickly, because we're not looking to hold it. We don't have a store. It's just a few guys, moving things around, helping the community. So we usually buy below spot, and then a lot of times we will sell a little bit above spot. So there's a little bit of a spread in there, but it's not huge. It depends on how much below spot we buy it. Sometimes we sell below spot. So it's not really a percentage. We just look and see what's going on in the market. If it's a popular hot product that we can't really find very often, and we've got a lot of people that want it, like a gold buffalo, we may be $50 below what retail is. Maybe we're $100 below retail. It just depends on where we're able to buy it. But we can't even find those things right now. We always make it pretty good. That's good to know. Yeah. So there's a new Brinks vault up in Utah, and Miles Franklin's using that. So you guys, I think vaulting is also a good option, especially if you have a lot of stuff coming. Lee, you get dark hair when you stop surfing. It's probably true. But I didn't grow up surfing as a kid. I actually picked it up when I was in my early 40s. Even though I lived close, we just never went to the beach much. Gold sniping farmers in the house. Welcome. Yeah, exactly. Know your local market, guys. Know what's going on. Vinay, welcome. I don't know that silver will go down. Silver can go down. I don't see silver going below $41 without something drastically changing in the market. The Fed could raise interest rates. That would definitely take us below 41. We could also see a big stock market crash or some news that comes out. Now that the government's been shut down, one of the reasons it's going down at the moment is there's a bunch of news that has not been reported, like unemployment rates and, the different indicators around jobs and everything else. So all those indicators, when they start coming back out, that could affect things and kind of send it down. But as of right now, it shouldn't go much below 41. That's what it looks like. But it could go down to zero. It just wouldn't stay there very long, and you wouldn't be able to buy it for zero from a store. Okay. So yeah, prices can go up, they can go down. If you're really, really worried about a price going down for some reason, I would ask, I'd really think through it. Like, why are you holding silver? If you're holding it for a short-term investment, this isn't the right thing to do. I would sell it and get out of it. Can't give you that advice, but that's what I would do. And I would probably go and, buy like silver from One Gold or from, probably One Gold's the easiest one to get in and out of, better than Glint if you're just doing silver. It's a lot faster to link to your bank account and stuff. Glint, I think, is really good if you want to own gold, hold it, and use your debit card to pay for things. Plus, you can redeem it with Miles Franklin, which is good. One Gold does it redemptions through AppNex. But anyway, what I'll tell you guys real quick on this is this. Silver can go down. If you're freaked out about it going down, you probably have too much silver, not enough cash around. Always make sure you've got enough cash around. I like to have anywhere from 30 days to 90 days worth of expenses in cash. Even though I don't want to hold a lot of cash, I think that's recommended in case things get tight or you got laid off. But I wouldn't freak out about silver going down too much in the short term. Over the next 4 years, I think we're looking at minimum $150 silver. I'd be very surprised if it's less than that. Frankly, I think we're probably going to be closer to 600 to 1,000, but I could be wrong. That's not my prediction. That's just ranges of where the charts are showing us. All right, I'm going to have to skip down here lower for you guys. All right, mods. Yankee's in here too. So Yankee's he's telling us everything's okay. So that's good. Okay, here's a question. If silver hits 125 an ounce, how much would sell? I don't know, guys, but I will tell you this. When you look at the spectrum of silver and prices, okay, there's people that bought at 50 and they've been waiting 45 years to get back to 50. A lot of those people may be toward the end of their life and they want to be able to take profits. They want to be able to do something with that money, and maybe not pass it all. When that happens, one of the things I'll tell you guys is people take profits. Okay. So we've probably seen a little bit of that happening just in the last couple hours of the day today. But there's also the financial news that's come out. We get to 100, we get to 60. I think there'll be some more profit taking. We get to 100. I think there'll be more profit taking. Each of these increments of $25 to $50, I think you're going to have people taking profits because there's still a lot of people that believe today is like 2011, 2000, and 1980, and that we're just hitting the top and we're going to crash and go all the way back down. Well, now it's different. We've actually printed $1 out of every $3 just a couple of years ago. We've created a lot of inflation. There's going to be a lot more printing. They can't fix things. They cannot balance the budget. They cannot pay off the debt. And even if they do, it would be a waste of money. So hopefully they don't try to do that. It'd be like buying back a company's stock. It helps a little bit, but it doesn't solve the problem. More likely, we're going to continue to have inflation. And so you're going to see the price keep going up, but certain people are going to want to sell out of it. So the question comes down to, why did you buy it in the first place? What are you holding it for? If you're just holding it to pass on to your kids, price doesn't even matter except for when you want to buy more. So look for those times when it's a red day and it dips, and those are good days to be buying. Let's see what else we got in here. So welcome Lee and Joey and Jay and Born Hunting's in. All right, we're going to rip open this box real quick. Let me see if I can get this other screen to go real quick for you guys. Let's test it. And then we are going to do at the hour mark here. So we've got about 6 minutes here, 5 minutes. We're going to do a live stream for the channel members. Okay, memberships start at $2.99 a month. You guys can cancel it after a month if it's not valuable for you. But it helps the channel. It also gives you guys some cool emojis. And then we're going to be doing a lot of, we're going to start doing a weekly live stream after this for people too. All right, let me see if I can get this to work. It might do some kind of a sound thing for us for a second. So I'm going to mute my microphone for just a second. Okay, can you guys hear me? Put a 1 in the chat if you guys can hear me, and we will do a little unboxing here real quick. All right. All right, you guys can hear me. That's good. Okay, I'll be right back. You'll see me over here. Okay, I'm going to turn my screen over here so I can make sure you guys can actually see what I'm doing. It's just a huge box. All right, so I've been waiting for one of these things for like a month. And one of the things I'm going to tell you guys that's important with these Sigma machines is they don't all do the same size. So if you've got like a 100-ounce bar, kilos, in 10-ounce bars, 20-ounce bars, those smaller original machines that you might have, they're not going to cut it. All right, so this is packaged very well, as you can see here. Here's the first box. And there's the second box. That there. So what do you guys think so far? Do you guys have a Sigma? I'm curious to know if you do. They have gone up in price like everything else in life. This one actually came directly from them. And I'll tell you, as soon as silver hit 50 bucks, these have been super hard to find. And it's been really hard to find these things. So, you know, I guess this is kind of Surfer's early Christmas present. Okay, let's see. And we'll continue going through this for the members, by the way. And for you guys, we are going to have Sigma Metalytics on in a couple weeks. So anyway, I got the wands right here that it comes with. Let's get this a little closer. So let's go on the side. There's a little booklet that comes with it. And this is the Pro unit. So they are amazingly lightweight, but it's got the little calibration deal on the back here. So you always have that with you. And you've got the testers here, so you can get a, I think that's easily going to do a 10-ounce bar right here. Actually, that's even thicker than the 10-ounce bar. So that might need to be a wand, but we'll have to see if that'll go through there. I think you might have to be touching it. But anyway, we're going to be getting these out, figuring out how to use this guy a little bit more closely. And then the other part that does some of the magic here for the bigger bars is this bridge. And Tiger Stacker, if you want to put a link to your channel in there, go ahead and do that. And Tiger has done quite a few videos on this. But this is the bridge that comes and can be attached. And so this allows you to go with a 100-ounce bar. So you can easily get the 100-ounce bar onto the bridge, and you can test it all the way through. Okay. So I think it's important for you guys to understand how those work. We're going to go through this in a little bit more. We'll do some other videos on that too. So let's do this real quick because I'm going to be late to the other video here in a second. We're going to do the GAW real quick, okay? So you guys are going to put in what I put in here, and we're going to collect off this video. If you're on the vertical format, you can jump off that real quick, or you can jump off it because we're going to be ending the stream here in a second. But run over to the horizontal. That's where we'll do the giveaway. All right, so you guys are going to put in the hashtag I have. Just put it in once. It's only going to count you guys once. But here it goes, and I'm going to go get the picker. All right, I'm going to pull that up on screen so you guys can see it. All right, hopefully you guys can see that right now. Oh, maybe not, because I got to do this. There we go. We got 27 of you in there, okay? What I need to know real quick for my mods, maybe I can go look at it myself real quick too. Now that my deals. What did we get to? Did we get to 100 thumbs up? Let's go look. Let's see. All right, we got the 76 on that one. Let me go see what it's at on the other one. This is the first time we've kind of done this dual streaming, guys. Yeah, we got enough, so we'll go ahead and do the 1 ounce. All right, so right now I think there's a bunch of you over on the horizontal. If you guys want to jump over to the vertical, if you want to go from the vertical over to the horizontal one, that's where we're going to collect everything here. And we're testing this out, so we'll see how this goes, how it works to have both these formats going. And then when I've got a little bit more time, we'll go ahead and do we'll get into the Sigma and test stuff. But we got some fun stuff to test. You know, we're gonna do some kilos and things like that too. These different shapes. And the reason I wanted to bring this up, guys, is this is important because there's a lot of people in the community that I've been talking to that have the original Sigma Metalytics machine, and they're using the wand and they're going around 100-ounce bars, and they think that they are testing it all the way through. It's not doing that. It just tests the very top layer of silver and maybe down like a millimeter or so. It doesn't really go much further. I don't know the exact number on that, so don't quote me on it, but it's not going to go through a big, bar like this down here, right there. All right, we're at 48. I'm going to go ahead and run this thing, and I want to thank you guys for coming out tonight too, by the way. So let's go ahead and draw that. And who is it going to be? Rob. Okay, Rob. I'm pretty sure you said you've never won anything before earlier. I gotta find that. I think it was Rob that said that. Let's see. So Rob did say, how does a channel membership work? There should be a link down at the bottom below my screen that allows you to do a channel link or to the membership link. It is paid, but I try to keep the price down as low as we can. Let's see. Right there. Rob, I haven't won yet. Okay, well, there you go, buddy. Congratulations. So send me an email, stackingsurfer@gmail.com. Put that it's Rob in there. Take a screenshot of this with your channel on there so I can see you're subscribed too. Give me your mailing address and what name you want me to address it to, and we'll get out this 1 ounce best star bar to you right there. All right. So that'll be cool. All right, guys, we're going to sign off. I want to thank you guys for coming out tonight. and we're going to jump over to the other stream. If you guys are members and you're not sure what to do next, just go back to my channel and you'll see another stream that's starting. It looks a little different. It has a red arrow down and a green arrow up. And then we'll do this again next Friday. We'll keep having some fun lives. I do have a cool video coming out with Liberty Coins. We've got a brand new double die error on one of these coins, one of these Lincoln dollars. And one of his customers brought it in. They sent it in and got it graded. So I'm going to show you guys that. We're going to talk about that a bit. And then I've also got a handful of videos coming out that I just need to have time to edit at this point. So anyway, thank you guys. Have fun. Check out the other videos. And until next time, peace out. All right, guys. So I may or may not have anybody in this stream. I don't know what's going to happen yet. This is going to be our first live stream, at least in recent time, for those of you that are members to the channel, okay? So one, it's an appreciation of you guys supporting the channel. Two, it's a perk that comes along with being a channel member. So a couple things I recommend for you guys is when you're wanting to do a super chat, you have the option of also giving memberships away, which will help more people come into this. And we'll also have a lot of fun things to discuss and go over. So this will be the length of this will depend on how we do things on this stream today. And some of this is going to come down to how many people we end up in here. So I see Amy's in here saying hi, but I don't see that she's showing up yet. So that's interesting. We're also trying this dual stream concept on this one as well to see what happens. So I'm going to share with you guys a few things until we get people in here. So first off, gold and silver prices are going to continue to be going up and down, but the trend is going to be up, okay, in general. Now, I can sense a few things going on in the market. One is there's a lot of uncertainty around the crypto market, what's going to happen with Bitcoin. We've just seen it go below $100,000. I think all the way down to like 94,000 or so, maybe even more. And a lot of people are freaking out over that. And that's something that I think is going to affect the overall markets. A lot of times you see it affecting things quite a bit. All right, guys. So let's do this. I'm gonna. Anybody can come up that wants to, by the way. And this will let you chat with us too. So I'm going to post the link in here. It's not showing me that anybody's watching this, which is weird. So that's kind of an issue. If you guys are watching this right now and listening to me, put a 1 in the chat as we test this out. And if you want, you can hit that link. It'll bring you up to what people call the green room. And then I can pull you in here. So it's not even quite a millimeter. So Tiger, just on the one we were talking about on the other channel here, small wand depth is about 0.18 millimeters, so it's not even quite that. Large wand is 0.25 millimeters, and then the refiner's wand is 2.5 millimeters, okay? All right, so we got some ones in here. Oh, it's weird that it doesn't show anybody's watching. That might be because it's a member-only one. But anyway, there's a link in there, guys. If you want to click the link, it'll bring you up, and I'll bring you up on here, and you can talk and share your thoughts with other people as well. If you try that and it's not working, put a comment down below too. So anyway, as far as prices go, right now we're seeing the crypto market have some issues. We're also seeing a lot of talk around being weary of the price of stocks that are AI-based which is the company, one of the companies I work for. It's definitely getting hit quite a bit. It's down about 20% from its peak just recently. And could we see gold and silver get dragged into that a little bit? We could, because if the Fed's not going to lower rates, then people are going to have concerns that liquidity is going to dry up and it's going to be harder, and so it usually pulls markets back. So if we have some new data, if we don't have rate cuts, if we have other financial numbers that come out, we could see silver dip, and it could go even more to where it is a a pullback. To me, that's around 10%, and we could then see it go into a correction, which would be over 10-20%. So those things could still happen. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and put them down below here, and I'll answer those for you guys too. All right, let's see. So Tiger, I forgot to thank you for the super chat, but he wanted to correct us on that, which is great. I'm going to be learning that stuff as we get this new machine out and test it out. All right, let's see. It's weird because that one's not even showing the right camera. Interesting. All right, guys. So where I think price is going is, I think over the next several months, we're going to see price starting to get up to 60, heading to 70. We may have a touch back towards 41 before we get to 70. But I think we could also pass right past it. When we get to 100, I definitely think you're going to see profit taking, and I think you're going to have some issues with it. All right, Tiger, I'll send you a link to your email. Just give me a second here. So I do think we're going to see some interesting things happening. But I'm still buying when I can find the deals, and right now I'm having a hard time finding the deals. The only thing I'm seeing is constitutional silver, but I want to buy that I want to buy that below spot. I don't want to pay spot for that right now. Give me a second, guys. Okay. All right, Tiger, I sent that to you. Hopefully you get that. So I'm hoping for some more silver. I don't, I don't want to buy, I definitely don't want to buy any more big bars. Those are hard to move. And if price gets up to $100, you're now talking $10,000 for one of those bars. Now you're starting to get into, some reporting issues or liquidation issues. But it's okay. This is one of the original bars that got me started in this. My dad gave me, so that's the one you hear in the stories, guys. So it's a 25-ounce silver bar. It's just a poured bar, and anyway, they're all kind of a little unique and different. Those are cool. And something like this, don't overpay for this stuff, okay? Kilo kookaburra, don't do that. All right, I'm going to bring Tiger up. Interesting, it only has audio, but let me see.